comparison to the target that you must have set for yourself?
We have been clear. We have called upon, we challenged the million South Africans that are not on the voters' roll to do so. We say for purposes of, going into these elections, we are hoping that our registration efforts going into into these elections will give us at least 1 million people more. And that's really what we want. Thank you very much.
I have a question, 3 questions, right? Before the weekend, you had said there were about 9 million South Africans who were eligible to vote yet, to register, who hadn't yet registered. And today, you're talking of yesterday, the number, which is an estimation, close to plus minus 1 million. And today, again, you haven't got the figures, and understandably so. Now, I'm thinking from 9 million to 1 million, you have a number of 1 million today, perhaps let's say 2 million. Do you feel that you have actually worked hard to actually close the gap? Because when you think of 1 million and then say today another 1 million, I'm probably exaggerating. Do you feel that you have worked to your best to attract South Africans to head to the polling stations to vote? And then another question is still on that one. What do you think is the reasons for South Africans not to take these registrations seriously? Do you think it is politically motivated? Are there any political delusions going on there in the minds of South Africans? The second question is with regard to the political parties. What were the general concerns that would have been raised by political parties on the field?
Okay. I think you raise a few issues. We have indicated that, and in every election we indicate how many persons Stats South Africa estimates, and I think it's important to say they estimate the number to be at. And once we have looked at that estimate, we then set a target for ourselves to say, given that that is the number of persons that are estimated, this is what we want to go and achieve. Of course, we would be delighted if there are 9 million people out there. We want all of them out there to register with us. But historically, we know that participation in elections in this country, it's a voluntary process. It's not compulsory. There will be people who, we would like to have, who would take the sense of patriotism so seriously that every one of us will register and to vote. But realistically speaking, there would be persons that would not register and would not vote. And so it is important. We are targeting a lot of people, but we are specifically looking at the young people who have not had as many registration opportunities as we have not had, as they would have not had in the past. We are not excluding anybody, though. And it is this targeting that we are talking about. If we get more, and I want to get more, I want every one of us to come. If we get more, we will be more delighted. As to the reasons why they don't, there are many reasons. There will be persons who may not be in the country at the moment. There may be persons who may be, otherwise engaged. Those persons will have other opportunities other than the registration weekend to do so. Our offices remain open Mondays to Fridays for them to register and to vote. And there may yet be others who have reasons that they would not disclose to us. And one can expect that would be the case. Safe to say to you that the million that we are chasing is realistic. We set these things carefully and we consider them, and we do believe that we there's a reason for us to invite them, to visit them, and to be ready for them as we are this weekend.
Political parties on the field?
What the political parties on the field?
Yeah, what is the comment of political parties on the field?
The feedback we got from political parties is that they are out there themselves trying to war registered voters or persons to go and check their details, for new voters to go and register, and we are working with them, as you know. We work with political parties on a daily basis. We have provided, in the same way that we have given the media an update of what activity took place yesterday, we have done so with political parties to enable them to go out there and speak to their supporters to come out in their numbers to register and to vote.
Speaking of political parties, we were following them in a number of voting stations today, and the perception is that generally with our municipal elections, that there's this perception that perhaps it's not as important as national, and that the turnout is a bit lower than the national election. Is that something that you've noticed, and what do you think the reasons are that perhaps there might be a lack of interest in local municipal elections compared to national elections?
It is true that generally municipal elections in our country and elsewhere in the world have attracted a lower percentage turnout in elections. But there is a good story to be told about our elections of municipal councils. Whereas in general elections of affecting the National Assembly and provincial legislatures, a much higher percentage has been realized. In general elections of municipal councils, we have started off a low base, and we have been increasing that base. Every one of the municipal elections that we have held has been increasing or experiencing a higher turnover, or turnout rather, of voters, year after year. If you compare that with national and provincial elections, we started off high, but we are going down incrementally, and the trend in this instance is one that is experiencing an increasing turnover. I'm confident that if you compare us to where we were the last time with 57%, we may in fact find that we have increased more than that. We started off at 48% in the past, having improved on that. We are sitting at 57% as at the last elections, and that number I think might be increasing.
All right. That
in the interest of clarity, with the addresses, voters providing addresses and all that, I heard you mention that there will be allocated, say for example, one comes from a certain part of Diepsloot, and therefore they have to be registered on the other side of Diepsloot. You mentioned that there will be those individuals will be allocated back to their ward. How is this going to work? Does that mean that when it's time to vote, they will have to go back to vote in their ward, or they will be allowed to vote where they registered initially, and therefore that will be something the IEC will have to deal with the later stage when they have voted?
Every voter will be registered in the place where they are ordinarily resident. They will do so by presenting themselves in person. Even if we visit them at home, we would want to be satisfied that we have met with them. And in that respect, they will know exactly on the spot where they are going to be placed. For example, if a voter who is not entitled to register at a voting district where they are, shows themselves at that or present themselves at that voting station, they will be redirected right there and there. They will be told, this is where you need to go to register, and they will then be assisted at that voting station. There will not be confusion on election day about where they need to go. They would have known where they are registered. They would go exactly where they are going to vote. And where voters are not sure, we have these facilities on the toll-free number 0800 11 8000. They can check that. They can check that by SMS, by SMSing the ID number at 32810. They can do so on our website. There are many, many channels where they can verify their details.
Okay. Done, gentlemen? Thank you very much. Thanks, Dr. Thank you, CEO.
You know what? Thank you very much. I forgot that we were going live when I said
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
We balance it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And recover up in the CEO.
We try.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's a tough life.
Yeah.
When he asked the question, I thought that you might have stopped rolling the cameras, and I.
Yeah, okay.
And I really like actually when you're saying that.
Yeah.
I got a text that please inform.
You're still online. All right.